Hi everyone, welcome back. We're on N8.4 lesson 2 and we're talking about dividing fractions today. So here's a division question right here. 5 divided by 1/2. So basically what this is saying is how many groups of 1/2 are there in 5? So we're going to break the number line into 2s. Okay, so I'm going to put 0 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I couldn't find a number line that didn't have these arrows, but normally you wouldn't put those on there. Okay, so now we're going to break it in 2, which we did, sorry, and then we're going to jump by 1s and count the jumps. Break it in 2 because of this, jumping by 1s because of this. So, jump, jump, jump. Okay, I count all those up and it's 10. So my answer would be 10. 5 divided by 1/2 is 10. Okay. Stay with me here. Okay, let's do another one. 3 divided by 2/3. So how many groups of 2/3 are there in 3? So I'm going to, again, divide the number line. I'm going to go into thirds. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Again, I don't like these arrows. And I'm going to jump by 2s because of the numerator. Here's where we're going to come up with a problem. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps. And I have 1/3 left over. So this is left over. Okay, now the answer isn't going to be 4 1/3. It's going to be a fraction of what fraction 1/3 is of 2/3, because 2/3 is the whole, right? Okay, so what we're going to get there is half. 2/3 I'm getting from here, by the way, just in case you're not following me here. Okay, so this 1/3 is half of this up here. So our answer would actually be 4 1/2. Okay, I'm going to go through that one more time. So I did my jumps. I had 1 left over. I needed to find what fraction of 1/3 was 2/3 because that was our fraction part of the problem. And I know 1/3 is half of 2/3, and that's where I get my 4 1/2 as an answer. All right, let's do one with some pictures here. So here we have 3 divided by 2/3 again. Okay, another way of doing this, we're going to divide these squares into thirds. Pardon my not so even. And then we're going to talk about how many groups of 2 we have. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 groups of 2. Okay, and we only have one of our group of 2 left. So 1 of 2, that's your half. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. All right, so let's do this one. Here we have 5 divided by 1/4 or 1/4. So I divided the squares into fourths to save some time. And now I want to know how many groups of 1s. I have to look at this numerator that I have. So if I count all these up, I'm not going to write all these out, but you get the gist of it. There is 20 groups of 1. So that actually is my answer. 5 divided by 1/4 is 20. Okay, let's do another one. So if I divide this square into fourths, let's see if I can do this fairly neatly, or reasonably neatly. Okay, and then I need to break this into 5 pieces because this is what I'm looking at now. So I'm going to break it down this way into 5. Obviously not perfect scale here. And then I want to look at the number of equal groups. Okay, so there's obviously 20. And I want to know what each piece is. That's what I'm looking for now. So each of these is 1/20th, right? And et cetera, et cetera. So this answer is 1/20. Okay, so this is the visuals of these. Okay, now we're going to get down to the division rule. So you can run with it after this. So what you do is you write the reciprocal of the divisor and multiply. What this means is you flip the second part and multiply. Remember reciprocal? If you have 2/3, the reciprocal is 3/2. You just flip it. And when I say the divisor, or second part, I mean this part of the equation. Sorry, I'm missing the divided sign there. Okay, so what you're going to do here is 3/4, flip it, times 8/5, and now we're back to last lesson where we're multiplying. Okay, we're going to look on the diagonal and reduce before we get started, and this makes this 6 over 15. Okay, flip the second one, multiply. Quite simple. Look to reduce on both, and your fraction will then be reduced. And unless it tells you to switch it back to a mixed number, you can just leave it like this for now. Okay, and here's another one. Note, if you have common denominators, you can just divide the numerators. So this answer would just be 7/3. Okay, 7 divided by 3. They don't ask you these questions very often. Okay, and then if you have mixed fraction, you have to do the same thing you did with division. Change it to improper. So 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22 over 5, divided by 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3 over 2. Now I'm going to change it to a multiplication question. Flip it. And I'm going to look for some reductions. I don't actually see any. So this is going to be 44 over 15. And then I'm going to put it back to a mixed fraction because that's what it started as. So 15 goes into 44 twice, 30. And that leaves us 14/15 left over. Okay. So that would be what this looks like. So let me just go back here and show you how this works. This one here. Okay, 3 divided by 2/3. 3 is the same as 3 over 1 times, flip this, 3 over 2 first. 3 times 3 is 9, 9/2, which is the same as 4 1/2. Okay, this one, same thing. This one we would have 5 over 1 times 4 over 1, and that gives us 20. Okay, so you've been shown visually why this works, this rule, and they'll ask you for some of that in the assignment, and then you'll be able to just run with the division rule. Okay, should be fairly simple. I hope you make out good in your lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.